Today, today's video is about Gaia's ascension, an update, and I think this is kind of like a weekly video that I'm offering. I've decided to get more involved in this whole process of videos and trying to put out more information that might be of interest. I'm realizing that I do have some things that are valuable for people to be aware of. So the title of today's episode is "The First Will Be Last and the Last Will Be First." But before we get into that, I just want to mention that I do have both translations I translate German stories, and I do have some metaphysical self-help books available on my website at bandelbooks.com. And the other point that I'm getting at is, if you like the content that I'm providing, I'm asking, hey, if you like it, consider being a patron. Go to my Patreon page and consider supporting me a little bit there. $5 a month would really be helpful to me, and I am currently offering a course, or the training. It's called Oak, Tantra, and Etheric Warrior Training. That training involves a lecture and 2 meditations for each week. That is only available on my Patreon site, patreon.com anarchistbanjo, or patreon.com/anarchistbanjo. So that's available. There are other specials, material that are available for supported members as well. And when it comes down to it, that's just the price of a cup of coffee for a month, but it could really, really help me. And I've put out a lot of stuff over the years. What I'm finally doing, I'm going to be putting out even more. This video is an example of putting out even more of what I think is important. So, getting into this video, what do I mean by the last will be first and the first will be last? Well, Gaia has been going through this rebirth process, through this ascension process, and I've been aware of it in my own way because I function on the different astral planes. I function on the etheric planes. So I'm not channeling this material, but what I'm doing is I'm sensing it firsthand and getting my interpretation of it. And what I've recently, over the past months, what I've noticed is, up to that point, things had really been earth-based. For example, when I'm doing my meditations, I do daily meditations. When I've been doing my meditations, I've been trying to reach up into the light and bring it down and anchor it to the earth, to Earth's core. Okay, well, in the last couple months, that's changed. Because what I'm doing now, and I've had dreams that kind of dealt with this too, is that now I'm reaching up to the light and I'm bringing it down and pouring it into the DNA, Earth's DNA, Gaia's DNA. So the energy is coming down and it's anchoring into the life that's on Gaia. And where it's starting, where this energy is going first, this energy is going to the most primitive areas of the DNA, which means that it's going to virtually every living thing at the very basic, at the very bottom primitive levels, and gradually filling up as the DNA gets more complex. It's turning out to be the humans who have the most complicated and complex DNA are being the last ones to get it. That's because all life on Gaia is ascending through the DNA. Trying to make that clear. It's not like humanity's ascending and we're going to go off like this, but because it's bubbling up through the most primitive elements of the DNA, making corrections, making alterations as it goes. The conscious part of humanity is the last part that it reacts to. So a lot of the things that are happening to us as well, but they're happening on these deeper primitive levels that we're not consciously aware of in normal things. And what that also means is these star seeds, they have physical bodies just like anybody else. And those evolutionary changes, that light is activating their DNA as well, except because they're not innately from Gaia, they're not originally from this earth, their soul aspect, if you will, or their upper astral bodies are not linked. They don't have that genetic link. And what's happening is you're going to be seeing a lot of them having struggles as the genetic activation bubbles up from the lower levels upward, because they don't have that protection to it. They've got to just kind of deal with it. In fact, a lot of the star seeds are the new humans, like it said in the Bible, because the cycle's just going around again. You're having, if the star seeds want to be a part of the earth, the new earth, they've got to reconnect at the lower levels of the DNA, which means they've got to go through it, just like the rest of us who have been here, who have evolved our entire evolution as the original earth life, where we have been plants, we've been trees, we've been dinosaurs. We've gone through those evolutionary stages. And so that's what happens when I say the last will be first, the first will be last. These star seeds have came in to Gaia. They came in and they have seeded the human race, and they have advanced the human race because they were more highly evolved when they came in and took over, and they've been kind of leading the evolution of the human race from a top down type of thing. In other words, they were smarter, they could outthink and outwit and find solutions that the rest of us were not able to deal. Because they had a higher awareness, a higher consciousness, a higher intelligence, if you will, than we did. However, what's happening is with Gaia's ascension, with the root chakra level, the root chakra energies being the dominant energies for the next 2,000 years, all of a sudden, these things are not happening. They're not working out anymore for the star seed of any category, because they're lacking that genetic connection that's taking place, whether they want it to take place or not. So you're seeing a lot of living in the head. People that are living in the head are being confronted with a lot of reality where cognitive dissonance is stepping in. And as the lower levels of their own self-defeating aspects explode, you're seeing the shadow. They're having to deal with shadow things, just like everybody. Everybody has to. The shadow is erupting for everybody, and those of us that have done the work are finally getting a break because we've already done it. We've already dealt with it. The others, they're just starting the process. They're being forced to deal with things. They're being forced to be real. And this is where we're at right now, and it is going to continue. Because this harvest cycle of the fall, this is the first year of where New Earth has been online. And I'm going to be straight with you. It's pretty easy to see who is being successful and who is constantly not being successful. And I'm just putting this out there that if you are one of the people who nothing is working out, or your favorite group or whatever, nothing's working out, it's time to explore and think about why nothing's working out. Because for those that have a solid earth connection, a solid etheric connection, a solid magical connection, things are magical. Magic is happening, and the world is finally starting to cooperate. After years and years and years, if not, we are pulling out of the muck. We're pulling out of the swamp. And we are heading toward a bright future. But we need to pull some weeds. And that's what's happening. There's weeds that are being pulled. There's things that are being brought into the open that have never been brought into the open. They've been hidden. And some of those things are pretty disgusting. But they needed to be brought into the open. So anyway, those who would be first, the first will become last, the last will become first. I try to watch some of the videos they're talking about ascension and some of that stuff, and one of the things that drives me crazy is they're all talking about people, humans, people. What about the other life forms? Because humanity is not special in the eyes of every life form. Humanity has a sacred obligation to be the steward for the other life forms, not to think about itself all the time. So this is the awakening, because Gaia's ascension is showing that the most simple life forms, cells, simple cellular life, is getting the energy first. It's being changed first. It's doing the quantum leap first. And it should also be becoming obvious that as life changes, as Earth changes, it's not changing up here, it's changing at the cellular level. So I guess that's all I have to say on this. I hope you find it helpful, and I will be trying, every week I'm going to be trying to put out some kind of video that kind of shares a little more, and I'm trying to share things that you're not going to find other places. Anyway, thank you.